Value is a really important part of making artworks. It is an element of art that can make things look more 3D and realistic. You can take a simple circle and add value such as shading and shadows to make it look like a more realistic sphere. Value is also not just black and white, it can also have color. Wayne Thiebaud uses many different values and different colors in his artworks. The shadows in this apple are almost blue and dark burgundy colored. A value scale is the most basic and easy way to learn how to create value. You're going to be creating 5 different value scales using 5 different techniques, and this will help you make your artwork look more realistic. You're going to begin with one sheet of drawing paper and several different drawing pencils. Please look on the side of the pencil to see the number and letter that are on the side of the pencil. So 2B, 2H. A regular pencil is usually a 2H, and you'll also have a 4B purple pencil. Now what I'd like you to do is on the back side of your paper or the front side, doesn't matter, is just test out your pencils and all of their different shades. So try out different pressures, you can label them, just kind of experiment with how they look. You'll notice that the 4B is usually the darkest pencil. It has the darkest color of lead. Make sure you write your name on your paper just so you don't lose track of it or somebody else doesn't claim it as their own. And you're going to take a black strip of paper. This is cut 6 inches by 1 inch, and you're actually going to use that to trace 5 different long skinny rectangles, and this is going to be the outline for your value scales. So there's the 5 different types of values, and you're going to trace around that little strip 5 different times. Now this video is sped up. I did take my time, a little longer than what the video shows. Try to trace carefully and evenly. Make sure you get the whole 6 inches and the whole 1 inch. Now you'll see there's 6 different boxes inside each long skinny rectangle. Now I cut these strips of paper to 1 inch so you can just simply trace along each side of that strip of paper. So it'll make 6 boxes in each long skinny box. So you should have a paper that looks like this. Now the first technique is probably the one you'll use the most, and that is called the blended technique. And this is something you might have done in the past. The best thing to do is to start out with your darkest value. So press down as hard as you can in the first box to really color in that box with your lead. You can use the 4B pencil for this if you'd like, or a regular pencil, it doesn't matter. Now as you go along in each box, you're going to press lighter and lighter on your pencil. This is all about pencil pressure. So the way you hold your pencil and how hard you press down on the pencil. If you press down hard, it's just going to look the same as the box before it. So I have all my values put in. The last box barely looks like I colored it at all. And now I'm going to use a blending stump to really blend the graphite lead together. So if you have any little pencil marks or any places where it looks a little messy, you can use the blending stump and it'll make it look nice and smooth and more like a realistic value scale. And you'll notice as I'm going, it's starting to blend really nicely together. So this is the before, where it's a little messy, you can see my pencil, and the after, where it looks a lot more blended, you can't see my pencil lines anymore. The next value scale technique you're going to do is cross hatching, and this is simply taking lines going one way and crossing them with another, usually at diagonals. So you're basically creating a lot of X's together. So there I just have hatching, which is just single lines, and now I'm going to go back across. So I'm going to go the opposite way to create many little X's in there. And this one you're going to barely be able to see the X's. So there is my cross hatching, and you keep doing that just the same way as you did the blended technique. The third technique is hatching, so that's basically the same thing as cross hatching, except it's just straight lines. You don't cross the lines at all, you just do straight lines. A lot of times comic books will use this type of value in their illustrations. The next one is Scribble, and this one is pretty much self-explained. Scribbling, you just scribble across the box as much as you can, and as you go you get lighter and lighter and lighter, and you can get your scribbles can get further and further apart. And the last one is stippling, and this one is probably the most time consuming. It's not necessarily the most difficult, but it does take a lot more time than the other techniques. And this one uses dots, and so you'll see on the left the dots are really close together and really dark, and then the dots fade away as you go. And those are your 5 different value techniques you can use in art to create many different shading and shadow techniques.